Hey Cafe crew, it's Colin Smith here from photoshopCAFE, and today we have we're going to do our first Q&A here on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to take questions that people have asked on the channel from some of our more popular videos and answer those questions, and they're going to be related everything from me personally to drones, to Photoshop, to iPads and Apple devices, and whatever else comes out. So anyway, one of the questions I've been getting a ton throughout all these years, and I'm gonna finally address this, even though I have kind of from video to video, but people ask me, where am I from? So I've got some interesting things here. I'm guessing Astro-American, or Austro-American, I'm definitely not Astro. Why have you got an Aussie accent that you are changing to some other weird accent? Are you caught between America and Australia? It's not DJI, it's DGI. You say DGI, but it's pronounced DJ. It's my accent. I pronounce GJ. It's JGG. That's how I say it. Try to pick your accent. Where are you from? This fella sounds Australian. Your accent is like 1/3 US, 1/3 AU, and 1/3 UK. A South African living in USA. I'm fascinated by your accent. I'm going to guess an Aussie that has lived in both Germany and the USA. Okay, so we could go on and on. So people are speculating. Very few people get it right, but occasionally, maybe the clue is in my name, Kiwi Colin. But anyway, yes, I'm from New Zealand, though my accent is kind of a mishmash of different things because I've been living in California for the last 20 years. So originally I was actually born in Scotland, raised in New Zealand, and now I live in beautiful sunny California. And so that's why my accent's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's basically what we've got. Okay, so another question. People ask me, how do I make my videos? Do I have a video on making videos? Okay, so there's a couple of different types of videos we're doing. There's one we're doing like right now, and what I'm doing is I'm actually sitting in the living room of my house. I've got a couple of lights here. One there, I actually just added an LED light there just recently. I'll give you guys a quick look at my little lighting setup here. Trust me, I didn't start with this lighting setup. You could start with, just go to Home Depot or whatever and get or Costco and get one of those little LED panels. You can pick up, a garage light, for like 10 bucks, 20 bucks. And you just need some kind of light coming on the front to illuminate your face so it's not too dark. Then I'm using a camera. Right now I'm just using my 77D. I have the 5D Mark III that I use a lot, but I'm just using the 77 right now because of the screen. I can see myself and it's got the autofocus. So these kind of videos, that's how I do that. The mics, I'm using a Sennheiser mic right now, so it's a lav mic. Sometimes I use this mic with the fuzzy, it's just called a dead cat on top, and what it does is actually it's just a wind filter. And this is a Rode video mic, and this is what I use on the go, pointed at myself. It's a directional mic, and this gets rid of the kind of sound you get from the wind. So that's a windsock, or otherwise known as a dead cat. So anyway, so for those kind of videos. Now for the screen capture videos, I'm usually on a Mac, or sometimes I'm on Windows. And so I'm using either ScreenFlow or I'm using Camtasia. Either of those work great on the Mac. When I'm on Windows, I'm using Camtasia, and it captures what's on the screen. Now the other one I get asked is my FPV. So when I'm out there and I'm doing the drone stuff and people see the screen and they're seeing the application on the screen, I've been asked a lot, how am I doing that? Well, what I'm doing is I'm using my iPhone or I'm using my iPad. If my FPV is wired, like I'm using a USB cable into my controller, I cannot use that controller into a laptop. I'm not recording on the screen because that's really choppy. So what I'm doing at that point is I'm using an app that's called Reflector. Honestly, I don't recommend it, but there's nothing else out there that I can find that can do that, but it's a very flaky app. But when it works, it's okay. And then I'll record here. So it creates an AirPlay connection between my iPad or my iPhone, whatever I'm using my device, and here, and then I use the Reflector app to record it. Now, if I'm using a Wi-Fi signal such as on a Spark or, the earlier Phantoms, in that case, I'll take the USB cable out of the controller into here, run it on iTunes Pro, just hit record, and then you can capture the screen that way. So that's how I do that. Okay, big question I'm getting, because I had a video that's gone very popular, almost 200,000 views, was why I returned my MacBook Pro. That's a 2016 MacBook Pro, the first one with the touch bar. I took it back for a number of reasons. Check out the video if you want to know it. But I've got a ton of people ask me, what do I think about the 17? Have they fixed the problem? Do I now recommend it? and I've actually ordered one, and it's coming tomorrow. So I'm going to play around with that for a few days, and then I'm going to look at the things that I didn't like, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think about it. So stay tuned for that. Where can I see photos you took during your flight? So this is like some of my drone stuff. People want to see the photos. There's two places you can find them. The quickest and easiest place is to just follow me on Instagram. That's at photoshopCAFE. And I try to upload a new picture every day. Sometimes I fail, and sometimes I do it. But at least once a week I get a new photo. But my goal is to consistently upload one new photo every day. So follow me on Instagram. Okay, so here's a Photoshop one I get a lot. So I've got a tutorial on there, how to mask out hair. And I'm getting a lot of people asking me, well, you know, this is really easy to do this because you're doing it against a white background, or you're doing it against a plain color background. Everybody's doing that. Why can't anybody show us how to mask against a multicolor background? Okay, there's two parts of that answer. Number one, if I'm shooting for compositing, which I'm doing a lot, and you know, all my compositing stuff, I shoot pretty much my own models. I use stock for a lot of tutorials, different things, elements and stuff, but most of the time my main character is somebody that I've shot myself. If I know I'm going to be compositing, which I do, I'm not going to be shooting against a difficult background. I'm going to be shooting my model against a plain color background. If I have a blonde model, I'm going to be shooting against a dark colored background, black probably. If I'm shooting a dark haired model, I'm going to be shooting her against a white backdrop. So in fact, a lot of the stuff I'm doing, even with the blonde models, I'm still using the white backdrop. So you'll notice I use a plain white seamless. I also create some separation between the model and the background because it makes it easier for masking out later. So of course I'm going to show on how to mask out hair, something that I would do in the real world. However, I do have another tutorial that I've created, and actually lots of other tutorials. I have one which is called Masking Impossible Images, where I have a woman with a feather headdress against a very similar multicolored background. And so I'll put a link there to that video. I actually just, it's there somewhere, it's on a card. There's a couple of different things I do. Sometimes I do keep it very simple because I want people to follow and learn the technique and not get caught up in all the little idiosyncrasies. However, I do have other tutorials that are more complex. I show how to remove very difficult objects from backgrounds. I show how to extract difficult hair. So I do tutorials, more advanced ones that are difficult. So just check out my channel there and look at the different tutorials when you're looking for either easy ones or more difficult ones. So I do both. Ever since I did the 10.5-inch iPad Pro, I've got a few questions. So one of the questions I've been asked is, what about the 4K footage? How does this deal with the 4K footage from the drone? So I went out and got the dongle that was recommended to me from Andrew. Is that Andrew Dois, I believe. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So I went out and got this adapter that you told me to get, and I'm opening it right now. I guess this is it's an unboxing video now. Micro to SD adapter. So now I'm going to plug it into the iPad, and look at that. That's just playing back smooth as anything, smooth as butter. You see that? Let me pause it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And just hit play. All right, guys, so that's it. You know, that's the 4K footage directly from my drone. And look at that. That's playing back smooth as anything. I gotta tell you, that's actually smoother than it is on my trash can Mac. That's very impressive. So, click done. But let's try just running it natively to make sure I'm doing the 4K. I'm going to go under Photos, Last Import. I'm going to click on that and hit the play button. Look at that. Wow. That is smooth as silk. Beautiful. Cue music, please. Okay, maybe not, but so there we go. There's the 4K footage from my drone. That's from the DJI MacBook Pro right now, playing right here natively on the iPad Pro 10.5. Another question. Will the iPad Pro replace my laptop? Quite ready to replace laptops yet, but I do see that path now because of, you know, what's coming in iOS 11 with folders and things like that. Also with the power But the big bottleneck really is the apps. A lot of the apps of this are still kind of toys. They do one thing, or they do it kind of okay, but they're not fully featured apps like you get on here. Although I'm starting to see that change with things like Affinity, Lightroom Mobile, some different apps like that now. Microsoft Office are starting to get a little bit more robust. So as the applications become better, let me ask Siri. Siri, will you replace my laptop?
I've never really thought about it.
That's not true. She has thought about it. But anyway, so it's a few years away, but we're definitely seeing a path there where eventually I think the tablets are going to become the new laptops. So give it time, and I do believe that'll happen, but not yet. Not yet. Okay. All right, so of course you guys probably watched the video of me getting kicked off the plane for the drone batteries. It was a big drama there with Southwest Airlines. I think people want to know as how did it turn out? Did you get compensation? I mean, some people saying I should have sued them, which I'm not going to do that. I'm not injured, I'm not hurt. I mean, had I been like the guy in United and I was dragged off and I'm cutting and bleeding, yeah, that case, yeah, different story. I mean, I was just asked to leave a plane in front of a plane full of people and was stranded for 4 hours in Vegas at the airport waiting for flights. And then eventually, yes, they did sort things out and I got home. And at the end of the day, the compensation I got was a very generous package of a $100 love certificate. So that means they didn't refund my flight or anything like that. But I had a coupon that was good towards $100 on my next flight. Thank you so much for your overwhelming generosity, Southwest Airlines. Oh yeah, sport mode. Is sport mode that bad? So I've done some videos, and every time I do a video, I'm doing sport mode. Get comments, yeah, I can see the propellers in there, and like, dude, you only showed like 5 seconds. Is a sport mode that bad? Yes and no. No, sport mode is not bad at all. It's great for what it's designed for. It is not designed for shooting footage. Sport mode is designed to have fun and to get you somewhere quickly. Just like when you're out filming with your camera, you're not running as fast as you can filming. You're moving slowly and smoothly. The best footage is slow and smooth. DJI Spark, remember that? Yes, the seagulls got it. I did have some questions about why didn't I go swimming after it. Well, okay, here's the thing. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. It was foggy. It was cold. I'm in the Newport Harbor there, and there's a current there. It was already in the water, very deep over my head. What am I going to do? Strip off my clothes, go swimming, looking for it in a swift current, and maybe get dragged out to sea. I'm sorry, but a $500 drone is not worth risking my life over. Maybe I'm being melodramatic because people go swimming all the time or whatnot. But you know what, guys, I'm not a good swimmer. And honestly, would I have even been able to recover it? Maybe I, soak it in salt or rice or whatever, rinse it out in cold water and, go through all that and maybe save it, who knows? It's gone. So, oh, yes, but the question, before I got distracted by shiny objects, otherwise known as other thoughts. Oh, yes, the seagull. So anyway, when my drone got taken by the seagull, I had some people saying, did the seagull actually recognize you as the mummy of the drone? Yes. Here's the thing, these seagulls are getting very, very smart. Maybe it was just pure coincidence, or maybe I just got a crazy look at my coincidence. Maybe it was pure coincidence, or maybe these seagulls really are getting smarter. I have a feeling they're getting smarter. So this is what happened. I flew the drone out, came back, I landed the drone, and then the seagull kept attacking me. Then eventually the seagull left me alone. I went out and flew the drone again. Yeah, I know, stupid me, should have learned. Flew out, went straight out, the seagull went and boom, hit it immediately, no warning, anything, took it down. And then it went back and sat on that post or that flagpole that you can see on my video there, and I'll link to that too. And it just sat there just mocking me for the rest of the morning. It never attacked me or looked at me again. It knew the drone was gone, threat neutralized. It knew that I was connected with that drone because it didn't buzz me anymore after that. So smart dolls. It's like the birds meets Planet of the Apes. Okay, so here's the thing. If this Q&A goes well, if you guys like it, if we get a lot of views and comments and things like that, then I'll do them more, and I'll do them more regularly. If it's an absolute flop, like no one watches it, no one comments, well, that's it. We'll be done. We we won't be doing any more of these. So if you like them, hit that subscribe button right now. Take that like button and smash it into dust. Add a comment, and until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.